Welcome to another episode of That's Some Crazy Shit with Kelly and James. I am one of your hosts, Kelly, and my co-host is James. What's up, dude?
Hey, Kelly, what's going on?
You know, it's another fantastic day, and to continue our role, we have another guest today.
A good guest. Well, they're all good guests, but this one, I think, will blow you away.
Yeah, go ahead, James. Tell us about him.
So I met David Mitchell, who's the psychic medium we're going to have on, through a mutual friend. And so I went to a reading, and I was so impressed with the things he told me. He told me things that only the family knew. And he told me details that very few people knew. So I was so excited. I had Kelly go see him. And I thought her experience was just as crazy. So
it was crazy. And you were with me.
I was with you. And so I'll let Kelly talk about that if she wants to. But because of these two experiences, that's why we wanted to have David come on and talk about his gift.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk with him and learn more about him. And the nice thing about him is that he does telephone readings as well. So if you are listening and you are not in the same place as him, I know that he does phone readings, and so we'll make sure that all that information available, because I was really impressed. I don't think we should wait any longer. I think we should just come on and bring him on.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the podcast, Psychic Medium David Mitchell.
All right, so today we're going to talk to David, who is a psychic medium. Is that correct, David?
Right. David Mitchell.
And, sorry, David.
That's okay,
can you
no
tell
problem.
us when you found out that you had this gift?
It's really hard to say. I think I've had it pretty much my whole life. I've had 3 near-death experiences. One where I was hospitalized, where I was in the hospital for a week and a half, and I was hooked up to a ventilation machine. It was breathing for me because I had stopped breathing on my own. So there was that incident. I also had one where I had walked off of an 8-foot retaining wall and completely crushed both my feet, and was wheelchair and bedbound for a little over 2 years. So I don't know if those were the attributes, but I can say that I happily could say now that I am going on almost 4 years now, clean and sober of drugs. I had been clean for decades, and I'd fallen off the wagon. And I started getting into some drugs, and that's when I started hearing a lot of voices and seeing shadows and seeing spirits and stuff. Unfortunately, they weren't the kind of shadows and spirits and voices that you'd want to be listening to. That really opened up my receptor. And so that's when I knew that I had an ability, but I didn't know how strong I had it. And that really brought it out. So what I had to do was pray a lot, get a lot of help, get clean. And afterwards, I started getting my signs and indications from my spirit guides that I was able to do this. And I've had friends put me to the test. I've done the test college or university exam type things. And then I just started doing readings probably, it's been almost 2 decades now. So I've been doing, and then I've done tour readings, went on tour. I've done house group readings, one-on-one readings. I've helped the police department. I've also helped people find missing children, lost kids, people who have passed away or where they might be at. And that's just, that's kind of who I am. I don't use tarot cards. I used to try to use those. They never really worked for me. But any information I get, as James may know, because I did a reading for him once,
Yes.
I actually just get my information directly from the source. It just comes right from above. They don't, I don't need a card. They just tell me what I need to hear or what I need to know, and I relay the information, and I just rely on them to help me. And so that's kind of how I think I got my gift. I think I always had it. I just think it's when I had gotten into the drugs that it really opened it up to a bad scenario for me. And so I had to work my way out of two things. One, being clean and sober, like I said, almost 4 years now. Which I'm very glad. Thank you. Yes, it's really, really nice. And I don't see dark figures and all the other crappy stuff anymore. And two, I had to learn to find out the difference between what was lying to me and what was telling me the truth. And because there's no book that comes with this. Being a psychic or being a medium, because they're two separate things. There's no book. There's no 1-800 number you can call. So it's kind of like, a lot of people don't want to believe you or don't want to believe in it because believing in it means admitting to it, and by admitting to it means that they know that there is something that is stronger out there and there is more to life, and that some people have the ability. We all actually have it, just some of us are more in tune than others, and some of us are more in tuned in the way that we do with our abilities. Like some people are really good at finding children, where others are not good at that, but they can tell you where your keys are. It's everybody has the gift. It's just differentiates where their abilities lie and their strengths. So, and believe me, I've been tested by many people, by that don't want to believe me or think I'm making it up or whatever, and that's fine. And that used to bother me, but it doesn't no more because I've done so many readings now for people and done so many live group readings and went on tour and done things, and I'm just here to help people and relay messages and gifts, and it's up to that person to take that away with them and choose if they want to believe it or not want to believe it, and I'm not here to force it onto anybody, I'm just here to relay what I'm able to do, and to give you a precise and correct answer of why do I have it and maybe somebody else doesn't, I don't really honestly know. That's just I don't know. And that's why I tell all my clients that's the truthful answer, so
It is a gift. Do you remember Dave reading me?
I don't, and I apologize.
It's okay.
And I apologize.
No, you don't, and that's fine because I'm here to tell you the stuff that you told me, and it's really funny because James was really gung-ho on, he took me to see you. So James was with me when you read me. And
Okay.
And the stuff that you told me at the time, I had a business.
Outside.
No, we were inside your kitchen, but it was really nice. It was summertime.
Okay.
And you had told me some stuff about my business and my business partner, because I was in business for myself. I had a business partner. And you had told me that by the end of the year, this business was going to be non-existent. And I was like, no, that's not right. And yeah, I hate to tell you, you were right. You were 100% right, though. It went down the way that you said it would. And I told James, I did not want to believe him when he said it, but as it got closer and closer to the end of the year, a lot of the things that you said were right, because you had said that my business partner felt like this and felt like this and this, that, and the other. And yeah, it was crazy because you were 100% right. You also told me, while reading me, that my dad was coming through. And it seems like my dad had a ton of information for me, because you kept saying, slow down. It's so much information, slow down, stop. So I just want you to know that, yeah, it was a trip, because you were right. You were 100% right.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you had a good reading. I'm glad you had a good reading. And I will tell people too, when they ask me, I'll say, if I say something to you and it doesn't make sense, call me out on it. Because I don't want you to think, okay, I just wasted money, or I just went to somebody who's just a scam artist. If you don't believe in something I say, call me out on it. Because you know what? I will never guarantee to be 100% correct. I believe that any psychic or medium that says that they can do anything that you want or bring through anybody that you want needs to step back a little bit. Because just like in life, if I invited you over for dinner tonight and you didn't want to come over, I can't force you to come over. So it's like bringing somebody through from the other side. If they don't want to come through, they don't want to come through. And I'm not going to be somebody who's going to make up and say, oh yeah, they're here now, and this and that, just so you can hear what you want to hear. I'd rather be honest and say, you know what, I'm not getting anything. Because that's an honest medium, that's an honest psychic, and that's something that you can trust. I don't want to build my reputation on lies, and I don't want to build it on false information, or the belief that somebody's here if they're really not, And a lot of times, like, I'll tell people, if I tell you something and it doesn't make sense, like you said with your job or your business, I said, let's move on from it. But it might come back and you'll be like, oh my gosh, now I remember what he was talking about. Or, oh my gosh, it did happen, And so that's why I say I just call it as I see it. And I just depend on my spirit guides. And I'm hopeful that they give me the information. But it's kind of like a fine-tuned radio. Sometimes I can hear them talking to me while I'm talking to you. Other times I have to go silent to listen to them. And it's kind of like staticky, because they don't give full sentences like we do in human form. It's kind of like bits and pieces. So I have to kind of put the puzzle together to say, does this make sense to you, or is this correct? Because otherwise somebody will say, what? But I've had people that have wanted somebody to come through and they want them to say a certain word or phrase. And I used to get that a lot, and I'd be like, I'm not going to say that. This person will think I'm a nut. They'll think I'm like crazy. I'm not going to say this. And my spirit guides would be like, just tell them, because this is what they want. This is a validation. So I'll say whatever it is that they wanted to hear, and they'll be like, oh my God, that's what we were talking about coming over. If you said that, then we knew that you were the real thing. And so then we would laugh about it, because it was what they wanted to hear, that they needed to know for validation. Because it is a hard thing to believe that somebody could have a gift to know more about life and things that are going to happen than other people. And it's a double-edged sword. I'm very, very fortunate in my gift. I'm very appreciative. But the person that gave it to me, also can take it away too. So it's a day-to-day thing. And I don't know why I was chosen to have it. I just know that I have it. I just know I see things, I hear things. I have people come and sit next to me, and I'll start talking to them, and I will have my husband or my mom or somebody come over and say, who are you talking to? And I'll be like, oh, I'm talking to Jim Bob or whoever. There's nobody there. that they can see, but I can. And so they're like, oh, you're talking to spirit. You're talking to somebody that's dead. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am, because they look alive to me. So it's just really, it's a variance on what stage they are too, of how close they passed or how long they passed. So.
And so, David, not only do you see spirits, you know, it's one thing to see spirits, but it's another thing to kind of like, you know, predict the future like they do with tarot card readings. But actually, you do both. I
do. I've been noted as a psychic, medium, and an empath. So a psychic is somebody who can tell you what's going to happen in the future, kind of like I did with your job. I can see things that will happen or that have happened. That's a psychic aspect. Being a medium is somebody who actually can see the dead, and they can actually concentrate and bring loved ones of the dead back through and talk to them that way. So that's the difference between the two. And then the empathic part of me is when I just get very emotional, and I don't know why, and it's because I'm feeling the pain or the loss for somebody, and I'll later find out, oh my gosh, this person just died. Somebody will call and tell me, and that's why I was feeling this. I had an instance where, this is quite a few years ago, but I had went downstairs to get a glass of water, and I looked in the sink, and I'm not a crystal ball, holy roller person. I'm just an everyday guy that just happens to have a special gift. But I saw this bus in the sink. I could see this like it's like a movie to me. It's like an actual movie. And as I was getting my glass of water, I could see this bus, and there were 14 people on it, and it had a bomb underneath it, and it was in Pakistan, and it was meant to kill the 14 people and go off at 6 a.m. Well, it was printed in the paper the following day at 6 a.m. in Pakistan. There was a bus that was hijacked with a bomb, and 14 people died. And that even gave me goosebumps, because I'm like, why am I being shown something that's in Pakistan when I live in the United States? There's nothing, how can I help, why am I being shown this, because how am I supposed to help these people? But I knew down to the detail, the people, the bus, the bomb, the time, everything, and it was all printed out. I publicized that it was going to happen, and then it did happen. I'm lucky, I didn't get like the court marshals at my door or whatever, saying, "Oh, you must work with a..."
Yeah. How did you know?
As a terrorist, because really, they could look at it that way and say, "Oh, yeah, you're psychic, sure. You're probably part of the terrorist group." So I'm really lucky that way it didn't happen. But any predictions that people have asked me to put on Facebook, just even for fun, for the Super Bowl, or this or that, and so I'll put my predictions on, and the Super Bowl, who I predicted is losing, they're losing, and then the last second, bam, they win, and then people are like, damn, I wish I would have listened to you. And I'm like, well, I just call it as I see it, and I'm not always 100% accurate. Sometimes I'm off, because I don't want to ever claim to be perfect. I just do the very best job I can, because I just want my clients to be happy and feel like that they're getting a special gift from a higher source that's able to come through me to give to them. So.
Well, I was so impressed with your reading, David. That's why I took Kelly, and you told me some things that also came to pass. So,
well, thank you. And yeah, Tony, I believe our friend, a mutual friend of ours, Tony's the one that introduced us.
Right, yeah, Tony, and that's another reason I went, because I've known Tony since we were children too, and his word is impeccable to me. And so I thought, if Tony's going to vouch for you, that gave you, a little bit of credibility, at least when I could go and see you. And then once I saw you, there was no doubt in my mind. And that's why I was excited to have Kelly go to you, and I've had other friends and family go to you, and it's incredible the things that you say. Tell us.
Well, and I appreciate that, and like I said, it's not, it's spirit and my guardian angels are giving me the information, which is the answers that you're seeking. I otherwise would not. I would have no idea, no clue, So it's something obviously from a higher source, and, people ask me, well, do you know when somebody might die or things of that nature? And I've always told my clients, and I'll tell you guys, I've asked my spirit guides and guardian angels, I don't want to know when I'm going to die, and I don't want to know when my friends or family is going to die. That's, if somebody wants to seek out somebody that's a medium and find that out, that's their choice. But I refuse to get that information. Even if I knew tomorrow, or even if I knew right now that tomorrow both of you guys are going to be gone, I still wouldn't tell, and you're not going to be, don't worry, I promise. But let me rephrase that. I promise.
You know something?
Your bills will still be coming in the mail tomorrow.
I was like, what do you mean?
You're still going to owe, your rent's still going to be due. But
okay.
but it's, even if I had the ability to know when anybody was going to go, I wouldn't tell them, because I just don't feel like it's my place to, So I feel like that's something that somebody else needs to, or God needs to, or they need to ask God, but that's not up to me to do.
So David, because of, you're a medium, you have your clients, they come see you in person. Because of COVID, have you had to maybe change the way you read people? Do you read people over the phone? Do you do like readings through Zoom or video, stuff like that?
It's funny that you said that. I've always done phone readings or in-person readings. I get the information the same way. My spirit guides, guardian angels will give me the information. I have clients in France that I've done. I have clients in New York, in Colorado, in Mississippi, and also in Delaware. That actually I just did a reading for a lady in Delaware. And she just happened to find me on Facebook and said, I'm going to give you a chance. I don't really believe in this stuff. And I've never met her before. And the first thing she asked me, well, like, what color am I thinking? I said, you're thinking of the color green. And she said, okay, that's really creepy. She goes, we're off to a good start. She goes, because that's what I was thinking. She goes, wow. She goes, that's wild, But it's, and I could tell she was really nervous, and then she calmed down, and then she relaxed, and then we laughed and we had a good time. So with the COVID thing, since I've always done readings in person or by phone, I can still continue to do it the same way. I have had some people come, as long as they've been COVID tested, and they're wearing masks, and I wear my mask, and I've done a couple in my home, but a lot of them, though, have converted to doing by the telephone for right now because of the COVID. So, but I can always do a reading for you by phone, or in person, because I do, like I said, I have a lot of clientele that's out of state, and so they have to call me or I call them for the reading anyway, even if there wasn't COVID, just because obviously I don't think somebody's going to want to drive from Delaware to come to Utah for an hour reading. I mean, that would make me, I feel flattered, but I don't think that would be kind of an expensive ticket. So
let me just ask you a question. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Sure.
The way that we're talking to you right now, and this can be a yes or no question, Are you picking up anything from me or James?
Well, I'm picking up something to do with. It's either it's either you or James, but I believe it's you. But I keep hearing something to do with Mom.
That's so weird. Because the other psychic, I interviewed another psychic on my other podcast about 2 weeks ago. And she said she's been a psychic medium like you for 40 years. She doesn't use tarot cards. She just picks up on things. And talking to me, she picked up on my mom.
We just were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we just talked about this the other day. She picked up on my mom. And so that's mind blowing.
She was as well. Was she a shorter lady?
She was, yes.
Yes. Okay, she was a shorter lady. Brown hair.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'm giving you validations that I'm seeing your mom with the height, with the color of the hair, everything else. She says that she's very proud of you. She says that she's been disappointed in you only when you've been disappointed in yourself.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, because she says that, you've had a lot of, and like I said, there are a lot of things that I'll tell my clients that if you don't want me to talk about, or if it doesn't make sense but you don't want to talk about it, just say, oh, I get it, but I don't want to discuss that right now, and that's totally fine. We'll move on. But I feel like that there's been some disappointment in your life that she's telling me. There's been some ups and downs, and but that you just need to keep believing in yourself. And when one door closes, that's fine, because that just means another door is going to open, and it's going to be for a better one for you. So to face a challenge head on and find the good qualities in it and use that for your next stepping stone, rather than feeling defeated and just putting everything on a shelf and not deciding to go forward with what you want to do. Because if you don't go forward with it, you'll never know if you were able to or not. And even if it doesn't work out for you, at least you can say you tried. And that's the most important thing. It's just at least you can say, well, it didn't work out for me, but hey, I tried though, so I did do it. So I'm proud of myself, so I did accomplish something actually, and in a good way. And that's the message basically that I was getting to give to you. So,
well, thank you. It does make sense. It resonates. It really does. Wow.
Oh, and which one of you two has the dirty house?
Kelly has kids.
I keep being told, and clean the house.
That's so funny. I was cleaning this morning, Mom. I swear. I was mopping and everything.
And clean the house. Stop letting it get so dirty and the laundry's piling up. That's what I'm being told to tell you.
It's not my laundry. Talk to your grandkids. It's not mine.
So, that's just funny. This is just something, and I don't know whose house is messy, but clean the house and stop and that laundry's piling up. You need to get that laundry taken care of.
That's funny. Well, Dave, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, and if people wanted to reach out to you, you said that you're on Facebook. So how do they reach you?
Absolutely. I am on Facebook. Just type in my name, and then
David
you'll see
Mitchell?
and you'll see my business card, and it will say Psychic Mitchell. Actually, you just type in David Mitchell, and then you'll see my business card behind my picture with Psychic Medium. So, and it's a black card, and it says my name, and it says you can text me for a reading.
Do you want to put the number out there? Do you want to shout out the number?
Yeah, it's a text message number only. It's a 385-285-9854. And my prices are $85 for 30 minutes or $135 for 60 minutes. I don't charge if the reading goes over. I love to talk, so for the first 15 or 20 minutes, we're talking anyway. So if your reading goes over, don't worry, you're not going to get charged more. And also, I do in-house group parties, and I do tour and live group events and stuff. And I've had great success with those. And really quickly, I'll share this with you, and it might make your audience laugh. I did a live group event, my very first one. It was probably about 6 years ago, and I did it at one of the hotels down. I think it was the Hilton, downtown Salt Lake. Anyway, there's about 40 people there that came to it. It was my very first one that I'd ever done, so I was really, really nervous. And these two beautiful ladies that were girlfriends said, "Do you speak to animals?" And I said, "Well, I really don't. I'm not a pet psychic per se, but sometimes I can pick up on animals. But that's not my strong suit. But I can definitely try." I go. They're like, "Well, we're just curious about our big parakeet because we loved him," and And I go, "Well, he was beautiful," and I go, "And he loved when you guys would feed him cheese," and she goes, "No, we never fed him cheese at all." And I'm like, "Huh?" I go, "He keeps saying he loved that cheese you fed him." And she's like, "No, that's not something we would do." And I'm like, "Well, like I said, nobody's perfect." The next morning I get a text message that said, "David, we owe you a huge apology. Oh my gosh, we forgot we bought string cheese and gave it to him for the first month that we had him."
Wow.
So she's like, "We've totally forgot all about that we gave him string cheese." And I go, "Well, there you go then." So that was him coming through saying that he really loved you guys too, and he loved when you fed him that string cheese. So it's just that it's kind of a funny thing. Sometimes people forget things, sometimes they'll remember. And also, really quickly, you asked me why, if I remember reading you or not. For me, being a medium and a psychic is a lot like a sponge, and in the sense of doing dirty dishes, as your mom said. But you soak up so much information from people that you have to learn to squeeze the sponge out. So I tend to, after I'm done with the reading, I have to release everything that we talked about and stuff that was, unless it really was a horrific thing, I have to squeeze out and let things go. Otherwise, I keep everybody's problems with me and issues with me. And it's like a sponge, and it starts becoming stagnant after a while. And then I start becoming depressed, and I don't understand why I am. And then I realize, well, it's because I'm carrying around all of these people's problems, day after day after day that I do a reading, and I'm not releasing it. So I'm collecting it, and it's mixing it with my own. So I've learned to have to, wash out the sponge, squeeze myself, smudge, cleanse, and just release everything. So I will tend to forget a lot of what I tell people, but that's only for my sake, so I can continue to give good readings, and that's also for the sake of my client, for privacy issues as well. Because I believe
that makes sense.
Yeah. Because I believe in privacy. I believe that what I tell my clients is kind of like a counselor or therapist, and if they choose to tell somebody, then that's their choice. And I may put something on Facebook that, hey, I had a client reading, but I don't mention names, but this or this happened. But I never digress to something that's very personal, because it is nobody's business. It's between me and the client, and that's how I like to leave it. And on that note, I wanted to say thank you to both of you guys for giving me this experience and for allowing me to do this. This was a lot of fun. I quite enjoyed it. So thank you very, very much.
You are very welcome.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on, David. I think you have an incredible gift, and
So,
You know,
so I
hopefully
am
this will
too.
give
So
you things to
I
share.
psychically can predict that you guys are going to be scheduling readings sometimes this year. See,
Well, what you need to do-
I gave you the whole year.
What you need to do is you need to psychically predict that our podcast is going big time.
Yeah. That would be the best thing, but
That would be the best thing. But we got cricket.
You know, it's gonna go. It's gonna move forward, but it's gonna be a slow start. But it will pick up at a faster pace. That's what I'm getting with it. But it's getting the belief in yourself and the frustration issues. Don't give up on things because it doesn't seem like it's working, because it will eventually work. It will come to fruition. Like I said, you know, it can be a slow start, but as long as you believe in it and you believe what you're doing is good, eventually that door's going to open and a faster pace is going to start coming through. And then you're going to feel that and you're going to be like, wow, this is great. We had no listeners, now we have 50 listeners. Now we have, you know, so just relax. Don't stress on it. Don't get yourself overexerted about it. If it doesn't work out right away, that doesn't mean it's not going to. It just means that it's taking its time. So just allow it to take its time. And I think you two will really go far with what you're doing. So.
Well, thank you.
right on.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're welcome. That comes
Yeah.
as a psychic and it's just as a friend. So that comes as both.
We
So that way I
appreciate
can get
it.
in trouble either way.
And we appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time to record with us today. We appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome, you guys. So, all right. So then I guess I'm saying goodbye to you guys now then. And if any of you listeners want to contact me, like I said, Facebook, or they have my information. And I will, if James or one of you guys want to shoot out a private message to me later with an address, I can send you like a dozen of my business cards, and then you'll have them and you can give them to friends, family, burn them, keep them, do whatever, play darts, I don't care. So
I
you'll have
definitely
them.
would hand them out.
Will do. Will do.
All right, sounds good, folks. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
And I hope you
you.
both have a wonderful weekend.
You
too.
too.
Thank you, David.
Okay, talk to you guys soon.
You know, James, that was probably one of the coolest interviews we've done. That
Yeah.
David is amazing.
He really is, people. If you don't believe us, you call him. You have him do a session with you, then you'll believe.
Even the stuff that he called out on the podcast. He's the second psychic medium to tell me about my mom. And he
Yeah.
described her. He described her.
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember reading me the first time, more or less know what my mom looks like.
Yeah. Right. See,
You
these
know.
are the things that I tell people, Kelly, and the skeptics will say, oh, it's just chance, it's just coincidence. No, there's just too much to it. There's just a little bit more to it than that.
There is. But I thought we would jump into a little bit of random bullshit before we end the podcast session today, because I had something that I wanted to share with you. So I was reading this article about brands like, Nike or whatever, and I want to see if you can guess the top 10 brands in the United States. Okay? Top 10
brands in the United States.
Number 1, I'll give you a hint, because you have this product. You have always had this product for a very long time. I think you swear by it. It's a fruit.
It's a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Dole banana?
No, come on. What do you have? A gadget that's named after a fruit.
Oh, Apple.
There.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Apple is the number 1 brand. It takes the number 1 spot for the 6th year in a row. And this list was released by a company named Profit, and it's their brand relevant index for 2021. And just know that these brands fell under convenience, comfort, trust, and dependability. Okay?
All right.
These are the top 10. Number 2.
Amazon.
No. Number 2 is not Amazon. Number 2 is a company that was number 35 last year and jumped to number 2. They have their brand is being distinctly inspired. It is Peloton.
Oh, really?
Peloton Interactive. Yep. I guess because of COVID, maybe a lot of people got into Peloton, right?
And they're kind of cool. I've seen the advertisements. They're cool.
Yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, this brand was known for lives up to its promises. It jumped from number 6 last year to number 3 this year.
Amazon.
It is
Amazon.
KitchenAid. Like the mixers?
The
KitchenAid.
mixers?
Yep. They
I
do
need
other
to
stuff too, yeah. Those KitchenAids are nice.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something, they're nice. So KitchenAid is number 3. Number 4. This company is known for its values align with mine. Last year it was number 24. This year it's number 4. It's not Amazon, James. It's the Mayo Clinic. It's the Mayo Clinic. Yep, number 4. Here's a good one. This one, number 5, it ranked highly in the makes me happy and makes me inspired. It's the first time that this brand has been in the top 5. It was number 28 last year. We've all had them. We've all played with them. They even make movies now. Lego.
Yeah, I was going to say Lego. You didn't give me a chance on that.
Oh, I didn't give you a chance. You would have got that one. Lego. Yep. Lego rounds out the top 5. Okay. Number 6. This brand lives up to its promises, and I trust. It rose from 21 to number 6. I don't know if you go. It's a store. It's a big store.
Kroger.
It's not a
Walmart.
Not a grocery store. Kind of a grocery store, but you can get other stuff there too.
Kohl's.
And you have to have a membership.
Oh, Costco.
Costco. Yep, Costco is number 6. Number 7. This is driven by dependability. So you know it's a car. But which car is it? Driven by dependability. A top brand.
Toyota.
Say it again?
Not Toyota?
No, but you're close.
Nissan.
Nope.
What?
Honda.
Honda. I quit too soon on that one.
Yep, number 7, Honda. Okay, number 8.
And they make a lot of shit too. They make,
Yeah.
tools and motorcycles and, generators and lawnmowers. They make all sorts of stuff.
They make all types of shit. Yep. Number 8, I'm telling you. Never mind. Back up, Kelly. Okay, number 8. This is a top brand for beliefs and values that align with my own. And it is like a medical place. They do a lot of...
Johns Hopkins.
There you go. John Hopkins Medicine, number 8. Number 9. I don't even know if you have one of these. But this one scored best in Is Modern and In Touch.
Well,
It
yeah.
rose from number 16 to number 9. It's a gaming system.
PlayStation.
Yeah. Do you have a
You're right.
PlayStation? Yeah.
I got like a PlayStation 3. What are they on now? Like 8?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they're only on 5 though, so don't feel so
5.
bad. I think they're 5. And they're not even called PlayStations no more. They're called a PS5.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yep, see? Okay, now, number 10. Excels in always finding new ways to meet my needs, and I can't imagine my life without it. It's number 10, the one that you've been crying for the whole time. Amazon, yes. Amazon is number 10. So those are the top 10 brands in the United States.
Huh, right on.
Do you use any of those brands?
Not Peloton. I'll be honest, I don't use Peloton.
For everything else, you pretty much use?
Maybe, yeah.
That's funny. Except for number 2.
Yeah.
I don't use Peloton either, so don't feel bad. But, I just thought I would bring that up for random bullshit. Another thing I wanted to bring up, because I'm always reading, is did you hear about this tree that they found in Greece?
I don't believe so.
This tree is a petrified tree, and it's like incredibly old. I think they still found like leaves around it. It was like covered in like a volcano. You didn't hear about this in Greece? Rare petrified tree was found intact in Greece. 20 million, found intact. Like had leaves on it and stuff.
Yeah, no, that never happens.
It was covered up, but they said the find was unprecedented.
Yeah. Wow.
See,
they're finding stuff new, all the time, every day. And so how people can say the stuff we don't talk about isn't happening or isn't possible when we're finding stuff that we didn't think was possible every day.
Pretty much. And they found the tree, I believe, while they were doing road construction. And the tree had been covered up by a volcano that happened 20 million years ago. I thought that was incredibly interesting. I don't have anything else for random bullshit besides the top brands and the petrified tree. Remember, you can get us on the following. Email is that'somecrazyshit@gmail.com. Facebook is K&J's podcast. Instagram is that's_some crazy shit. We're not LinkedIn appropriate. We have a YouTube channel, That's Some Crazy Shit.
And we'll do video one of these days.
And I feel like I'm missing one. Twitter. At That's Some Crazy Shit. So all types of way to get at us. James, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, I enjoy our time.
Until next time.
Keep your minds open, people.